Well, I'm just about to leave East Side Dodge. Booked an appointment here Friday. So did my first, wanted to do my first oil change on the Jeep that I got about a month and a half ago. And also there was some squeaking noise from the rear left shock or spring. So, and because I went off-road a couple of times, I asked him to check all the fasteners, you know, all the bolts in the suspension, and they had an option of 45-point inspection, or I think the other one, more expensive, was 80 or 85. So I chose 45, and as part of that, so they also rotated tires and checked everything. And one complaint I had was, I mentioned this before, I've been having issues with the display with this big monitor here, like a tablet. Sometimes it would just shut off or freeze, you know. And this morning I thought it was because of heat, because when I, you know, it's summer, right? And it was getting hot. Let's say I leave it in the parking lot, it was and I touched the top of the tablet or the monitor and it's really hot, and I thought that's what was causing it. But this morning it was pretty chilly. It was like plus 10 or 50 F, and I started the car, and while it was warming up, you know, before I started driving towards here, I tried to change channels on the satellite radio, and I see that the screen was frozen. And then I turned it off with a button here where I can turn it off, and it would not, thinking that maybe it'll reset. But when I push it again to restart the monitor, did not do anything. So the monitor was dead on arrival, DOA. And when I came here, I said, guys, I don't want to shut down the engine. I want you to see the monitor, because, you know, if I shut down and then restart, it might, you know, work properly. Because, you know, they never can diagnose a problem when it's intermittent, right? Especially when you show up at the shop and the problem is gone. But at least the guys saw that the screen was blank, and so, you know, of course the car is under warranty. But it's funny enough that some people were saying bad things about Jeep's quality. To touch wood, so far I've been pretty happy, but this is one of the things. I don't think I ever had something like this on. I had a Challenger 392, I had a Dodge Charger, I had a Hellcat, right? This is my fourth. Oh, and I had a Dodge Ram. So this is my fifth Chrysler vehicle, and this is the first time ever I had issues with the display, with the screen freezing or blacking out. Weird. Might have something to do with the fact that it was built in Mexico, but the Dodge Ram 1500 I had was also built in Mexico, and the only issue with that one, I remember, but it was partially my fault. Basically, I bought, it was some kind of something called Commander or something. Basically, it was a harness, like a wiring harness you hook up under the dash there, and it was allegedly supposed to make your gas pedal, you know, like throttle, make more responsive. And what happened with that one, when I hooked up everything, the truck started accelerating by itself. It was like amazing, you know, like I was leaving, let's say, intersection, right? And then I just took off my foot off the pedal, and all of a sudden the truck started accelerating by itself. Like, I still remember, I really got scared. So I pushed the brakes and I just stopped, and then of course at the first opportunity I just took out that harness and sent it back. I think it was Hypertech, you know, kind of like they sell these little gadgets where you can improve performance. And so that one was built in Mexico, but again, so never had any issues with the screen. This is the first time ever I'm having this. And so just got the car back. They gave me the keys, so I paid $79.95 Canadian for the 45-point inspection, and the oil change was, looks like $125 with the synthetic oil, and this one uses 5W30. And so total I paid after tax $234.37. And they forgot to print the page that showed what they found or not found during the diagnostic that I paid $80 for. And the guy says, go see the advisor, the service writer. But I waited there for 10 minutes, he's not there, so I just left. But it says, yeah, that was my complaint, that I said, please check all bolts, fasteners, and the suspension to make sure nothing is loose. Check oil levels and the transmission and differential, and the driver's side rear shock or spring make a squeaking sound when I back up. And I did this at on their website, so it's actually pretty cool. When you book the appointment from the website, you can actually, you know, you're not limited to just standard packages. You can add comments like what do you want them to do, you know. But looks like they didn't find anything. And as for the display, what they did was they couldn't find any issues. And so the guy, they checked if there's any recalls available. No, there's no recalls on this vehicle. And they checked if there was an update for the software for this Uconnect. There's no update, but they say that something might be coming in the near future. And so what all the guy did was he did a hard reset here. He reset the tablet or the monitor twice, and so maybe that will fix the problem. Yeah, so he said scan vehicle, found no DCT, so no error codes. Check for software updates, none found. Perform factory hard reset twice. On radio, possible new software to be released at a later date. And he set it up for over-the-air updates. So basically, if there's an update, I'll be able to do it myself. It'll tell me, you know, update available, because you know the car has its own internet. It even has a Wi-Fi spot. That, let's say if I'm sitting here, you know, and I want to use internet on my computer and I don't want to use my phone, I can use the Wi-Fi from the vehicle, but I have to pay for that. You know, have to activate that service, but it's available, right? It's amazing. Like these vehicles nowadays, you know, they have so many features. But anyway, hopefully this display will start behaving. But I'm glad that I did this at 4,000 kilometers. And so now I feel better. Like I said before, I like to do the first oil change a bit early, especially now since the weather is changing. Now we approaching the fall, right? But other than that, you know, I'm pretty happy with this little Jeep. Thanks for watching.